Alright, coming at number 10 now, we have the Mazda Raceway. This is a paved road racing track in California that was built in 1957, and for some strange reason, it's totally blurred out. I tried searching around for the reason behind this and I couldn't seem to find anything. It doesn't appear to be anything to do with the military, it's just a normal racing track. Or is it? Why would Mazda want us to not see the track from above? And why would Google agree to this?
Moving on to number 9, we have Baker Lake. Located in Nunavut, Canada, Google Earth is letting you see none of it. Get it? Like none of it? Sorry, I love my puns. So if you look it up on Google Maps, it's weird because you see just a black strip covering a large area near the lake. What's it blocking? Again, we don't know for sure, but we have some crazy conspiracies. One theory is that the strip is concealing extraterrestrial beacons that help the navigation of the crafts, or that it's a craft landing strip. I don't know. They also say that this area would be perfect for the beacons since snow creates a powerful electromagnetic field that helps send a better signal. What do you think though? Let me know in the comments below. In our 8th spot, we have the Pacific Northwest Blur. Here is a view of the area close to the Washington-Oregon border. And would you look at that? There's a random patch blacked out. To this day, no one knows what that is. But something is there that Google doesn't want us to see. In fact, some people believe that it is a HAARP site, or HAARP. HAARP is said to be a military program that weaponizes weather and causes natural disasters like floods, earthquakes, droughts, you get it. Now, some people have actually traveled to that area to see what's up, but unfortunately haven't been able to find anything. Kinda suspicious. Like, what does Google know that we don't know? A whole lot, that's what. In our 7th spot, we have 2207 Seymour Avenue. This is the address to a home located in Cleveland, Ohio. A home in which a horrific crime took place. A crime that people don't like to talk about. From 2002 to 2004, Adriel Castro kidnapped 3 young women, Michelle Knight, Amanda Berry, and Georgina De Jesus. He kept them captive in his home until 2013 when Amanda Berry escaped with her daughter and contacted the police. Police came to his house and rescued the other women. This house has since been blurred on Google Maps due to the horrific crimes that took place inside. In fact, it was given the name the House of Horrors. But in 2013 it was actually demolished to help the victims move on from their traumatizing past. In our 6th spot, we have Valencia City. Located in the Philippines, Valencia City is one of the largest and most populated cities in the province of Bukidnon. It's home to over 190,000 people. It's even a popular tourist spot. But if you want to find it on Google Earth, you can't. The whole city is just blurred out. This was apparently done under government orders. Valencia City is home to their government's headquarters. It's said to house a top secret missile defense program. Others say that they do missile testing there, but that hasn't been proven, so we really don't know. It's just weird that the whole city is blurred out, not just a single area. We are now at our 5th and halfway mark with AMCHITKA Island. Located in Alaska, sections of this island are blurred out and no one really knows why this is. But it may have to do with the nuclear testing that once took place there. From the 1950s to the 1970s, this island was the site of US underground nuclear testing. Nowadays, they are running tests to see if the island has any radioactive leakage there. If there isn't, then in 2025 it could become a wildlife reserve. But again, why is half of the island blurred out? Maybe that's the section where the nuclear testing took place. But why is it still blurred? A lot of people think that the military is doing some suspicious illegal activities there. We just don't know what. Moving on, at number 4 we have VOKEL Air Base. Located in the Netherlands, we have the VOKEL Air Base, which is a military air base used by the Royal Netherlands Air Force. According to former Dutch Prime Minister, there are 22 US nuclear bombs being stored in bunkers of this airspace, which is one of the many reasons as to why it appears pixelated on Google Earth. You got thermonuclear bombs, all the way to bombs that are said to be 4 times powerful as the ones used on the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Now, for the longest time, the place was just rumored to have nukes. It wasn't known for sure. That was until 2013 when the Prime Minister let it slip. He said, and I quote, "I would never have thought those silly things would still be there in 2013. I think they are an absolutely pointless part of a tradition in military thinking." In our 3rd spot, we have the mysterious Russian site. Located in the Siberian tundra close to the city of Egvikinot. I know I said that wrong. I literally looked up the pronunciation, but there is nothing out there, so I apologize. Egvigno. I'm so sorry. Anyways, the area is blurred out on Google Earth and no one knows why. I've been saying that a lot this video, but it's true, no one knows why. But it didn't always appear like this. At one point they had edited the satellite imagery. They cut out a section around Egvinot, that place I don't know how to say, and pasted it over whatever they wanted to blur. They thought it would make it less obvious. But apparently on Russian maps they have the area blurred with a black box. So what's going on in that area? Some say it's HAARP again, others say there's a large gold deposit in that area, so they don't want people finding that out. Others say it's a ballistic missile testing site. Coming in at number 2, we have the murder scene. Google Earth is a snitch, y'all, okay? A couple of years ago, they caught a murder on camera. It shows a dark figure standing by a body laying down on the ground by some abandoned train tracks. That's all we know. Obviously, due to it being disturbing in nature, they don't want people seeing it. And in our number 1 spot today, we have the poor donkey. Now, this has to be one of the funniest, yet saddest things caught on Google Earth/Maps. So you know how they have that van with the camera that drives along and it just snaps photos like every second in every direction? Well, while going along, it captured a donkey at the side of the road. Seconds later, if you click down the road and you turn back, the donkey's still there, just now laying on the floor. It had been hit by the Google Earth truck. It's pretty sad. Rest in peace, donkey. But that doesn't look too good on the company if they're going around and hitting and killing animals. Just saying. Starting off this countdown, we have the Half Moon Schooner yacht. This was a German racing yacht that was built in 1908, Germany. The yacht was built as a wedding present for Count Gustav von Böglin und Haubach. Yeah, that was his full name, what a mouthful. Anyways, the yacht was eventually seized by the British during World War II and resold to become a US cabaret boat during the Prohibition era. In fact, its original name was the Germania, but when it resold, it got named the Half Moon. But the yacht ended up sinking during a terrible storm in 1930. Now it lies at the bottom of the ocean near Key Biscayne, Florida. In fact, now it's a popular dive spot for snorkelers and divers.
Alright, getting even more serious now at number 9, we have HAARP. Some of you guys might remember HAARP from our other videos. It's a US Air Force research facility with many theories around the work done there, including experiments to control the weather. Regardless of if that's true or not, their base in Alaska is blocked out on Google Maps. You can only really see some weird copy and pasted brownish blocks. Now sure, there might be something very normal going on there, but this is also fuel for the conspiracy theorists. Next up at number 8 now, we have Noordwijk aan Zee. This is a small part of a town in the Netherlands that has the strangest blur on it that I've seen so far. If you could see underneath that blur, you would see the ESTEC, or the European Space Research and Technology Center. Now they obviously do important space work there, but why would we not be allowed to see it from above? One theory is that it's hiding rocket technology from rival space agencies. Next up at number 7 now, we have the Michael AAF Building. This building is in Utah, and although it might sound like it belongs to some nice guy called Michael, it's a bit more serious than that. It's actually an area used by the US Army to test bio and chemical weapons. If you try and view it on Google Maps, you just get this weird whited out area with swirls and square patterns. Whatever crazy chemical technology is being concocted there, we are not supposed to see the details. Alright, moving on to number 6 now, we have the KFC kernel. We've done a few serious ones so far, so here's a little bit of a weird but very real one to lighten the mood. The KFC kernel's face is automatically blurred on every Google Maps image. Now I'm sure you guys might be able to find one, but it must have been manually unblurred. You see, this is because Google's face recognition technology automatically blurs out any face it finds for privacy reasons. It got a little bit carried away and blurred the kernel's face on the front of every single KFC. That's about 19,000 of them. The Google employee who has to manually fix all of that will be busy for quite a while. Alright, next up at number 5 now, we have Princeton Road. In the English town of Stockton-on-Tees, there is a street called Princeton Road with only a few houses, and one of them is mysteriously blurred out. Some celebrities do this for privacy reasons, but the person who lives there said that they have never requested that Google blur out their home. Ironically, whoever was trying to hide something about this house has earned it a lot more attention because of the mysterious blur. Alright, moving on to number 4 now, we have Gruinard Island. This small island off the coast of the UK is less than a mile wide and was where British scientists tested deadly anthrax bombs during the Second World War. They tested them on 60 sheep, all of whom died within 60 days. Ever since then, the area has been a no-go zone. You're not allowed to go there, and the blurred Google Maps image reflects its mysterious nature. Alright, at the number 3 spot now, we have the Garden of Gethsemane. Any Christians watching this video might recognize this as the place where Jesus was said to have spent his last ever night before his crucifixion. It's also said to be the place where his mother Mary was buried before ascending to heaven. It's also totally blurred out on Google Maps. Why would this be? It's a very famous pilgrimage site. You can go there yourself. It's not hidden away at all. So why is it hidden from above? Very strange indeed. Alright, next up at number 2 now, we have the Secret City. This one is actually so secret that I couldn't even find where it was on Google Maps. I had to rely on other people's screenshots of it. The Secret City is a blurred out area of Google Maps deep in Russia's Siberian tundra. Now, it was thought that nobody lived in that area, but information has leaked out over the years that in 1986 the Soviet Union sealed off dozens of secret cities with over 1 million people living in them. They attached strange code names to them like Tomsk 7 and Arzamas 16, and some people believe this ominous brown blob on Google Maps is the hidden view of one of these cities. And finally now at number 1 we have Mururoa Atoll. The world knows about this small Pacific island because for 33 years, from 1966 to 1996, France tested nuclear bombs there. They dropped 193 of them on this small island to see the effects and fine-tune their design. The result was incredible environmental damage, leaving the place radioactively contaminated. Perhaps that's why France doesn't want you to see it, as the place is just one thin blur on Google Maps. Well,
starting off this countdown, we have Snow Saddle. Snow Saddle is a major mountain peak of the Himalayas in Nepal. But if you try to view it from Google Earth, you'll see that the whole area is blacked out, which is obviously suspicious. Why is a mountain peak blurred? What's going on there that has Google blurring it? To this day, no one knows for sure. But of course, there are a number of theories. One theory is that the had secret expeditions to the Himalayas and found a UFO base in that area. Sounds crazy, right? Well, there have been a number of UFO sightings in that area, so maybe it is a top secret UFO base. Who knows? We don't know.
In at 9, the SS Mahano. The SS Mahano actually has quite the interesting story. Originally a passenger ship, during World War I, New Zealand converted the vessel into a floating hospital of sorts. After the war though, it was returned to a passenger ship, which in my mind is kinda freaky. Yeah, this is a passenger ship now, but it used to house hundreds of wounded soldiers. Totally worth the ticket price. But I'm guessing the whole floating hospital thing kinda hurt sales, since the ship was sold to an Osaka shipbreaker company in 1935, who intended to tear it apart for scrap metal. However, the ship never made it to the buyer. A cyclone had severed the tow line connected to the Una, the ship that was doing the towing. You can now see the wreck on Google Earth on the beach of Fraser Island off the coast of Queensland, Australia. There was also a small crew on board that luckily survived, but if the ship was in such a state that it had to be towed, why was there a crew on it? Maybe it was to maintain the ship or something, but I mean, if it was gonna be used for scrap metal anyway, does it really matter?
In our 8th spot today, we have COSTA Concordia. On January 13th of 2012, the Italian cruise ship COSTA Concordia crashed into underwater rocks in shallow waters that they didn't see coming. The impact left damage to the ship and it started to sink. Eventually, it capsized completely and sank to the ground. The rescue took a total of 6 hours, and most passengers did make it back on shore. Sadly, 34 people lost their lives in this tragedy, 27 passengers, 5 crew members, and 2 rescue workers. The ship was unsalvageable, so it was left on the coast of Giglio Island in Italy, where it sunk. Images of the sunken ship have been captured on Google Earth. There are multiple photos of the ship laying on its side, and over the years you can see the ship become more and more deteriorated.
And at 7, the St. Christopher. The St. Christopher will likely spend the rest of its days, those in days in a sense being eternal because it's a ship, in the harbor of Ushuaia in southern Argentina. The ship, as a part of the Land Lease Act, was an American-built rescue tugboat that served in the British Royal Navy during World War II. The Navy decommissioned it after the war and sold it to a man in Buenos Aires, Argentina in 1947. It was chartered for salvage operations but ran into engine trouble and rudder damage in the Beagle Channel by Ushuaia. The St. Christopher ran ashore in 1957 and was abandoned, with the remaining fuel being drained to prevent an environmental disaster. But not until 2004. Great hustle, gents. Nearly 50 years later, huh? Really got your priorities sorted. I guess I had you looking in the wrong section. How could I be so stupid? I really hope that that trend isn't dead when this goes out. It might be.
Coming in at number 6, we have the SS Jasm. This ship holds the title for one of the largest shipwrecks ever seen on Google Earth. The SS Jasm was a Bolivian cargo ferry that sunk on the Wingate Reef off the coast of Sudan. On the evening of December 1st, 2003, this ship sunk, and to this day, it is still unclear as to why it sunk. On Google Earth, you can see this big white ship laying on its side, in the same position where it capsized. Besides that, the ship remains a mystery. Now, it's another popular dive spot for scuba divers and snorkelers.
Halfway through into number 5, the Garden of Eden. Now, I'm not a religious man per se, but I know the stories. The Garden of Eden was meant to be a utopia. Adam was placed here and told that he could eat from any tree aside from the tree of life and the tree of knowledge. They end up eating from the tree anyway and then are cast out of the garden. Well, in layman's terms at least. But there are many theories or ideas as to where this garden was on Earth. Some think that it wasn't on Earth, but multiple renditions place it in Iraq. One of them specifically claiming Basra as the location of the garden, which only makes this giant vessel off the coast even more intriguing. In the northwest section of Arvind Rood, you can see a capsized ship roughly 150 meters long and just over 50 meters offshore. And apparently this isn't the only shipwreck in Arvind Rood either. Just the only one that you can see, particularly from Google Earth.
Coming in at number 4, we have the SS Francisco Morazan. On November 27th of 1960, the SS Francisco Morazan left Chicago and headed out towards Holland. They had 940 tons of cargo aboard the ship. However, they never made it to their destination. By day 2 of traveling, they ran into a wild snowstorm. The wind speed was going 40 miles per hour, and as a result, water was being swept aboard the ship. Not only that, but they couldn't see anything. They were blinded by the snow and heavy fog. With their vision being impaired, they accidentally sailed their ship right into shallow water, trapping them by South Manitou Island. Now, the crew ended up abandoning the ship and it was just left there. The ship's owner never came forward and claimed it, so it was literally left there to rot. You can still see it today, just chilling in Lake Michigan.
Getting close to the end, and in number 3, Skeleton Coast. Skeleton Coast sits just north of Lüderitz in Namibia, and was named thanks to the countless whale and sea bones that had once littered the shore, thanks to its whaling history. However, nowadays, it's more so home to the skeletal remains of shipwrecks that are commonly caught ashore by rocks and fog. The 976-mile long, or 1,570 kilometers for the rest of the world, Skeleton Coast is littered with shipwrecks, and that's due to, if you don't mind a little science, when the Atlantic's cold currents mix with the warm air of the Namib Desert, they end up creating a cold, dense fog. The kind that Scooby-Doo would cut a burger out of using a dead pirate's sword and then eat. The burger, not the sword. According to BBC, the British Broadcasting Company, you crazies, the Khoisan Bushmen refer to Skeleton Coast as the land God created in anger, which is a whole other can of worms that I'm not gonna touch. Seems like a fun vacation spot though, if you want to get smitten by Chuck.
In our second spot, we have the MS World Discoverer, and sadly, this one did not get to discover the world. The MS World Discoverer was a Danish cruise ship that was constructed in 1974, and for over 25 years it changed ownership a number of times. That was until one day on April of 2000 when it took its last cruise. It was sailing in the Pacific Ocean when it struck an uncharted reef formation. Thankfully, all the passengers were rescued. The crew sent out a distress signal and a passenger ferry came to their help. All passengers were put on the passenger ferry. Now, before anyone could arrange to save the ship, it was actually ransacked and looted by locals. They then decided that saving the ship would be far too expensive and tough, so it wouldn't be worth it. So they left it there ever since. On Google Maps, you can see this ship just chilling on its side.
And finally, in at number 1, the Costa Verde. An avid UFO hunter looking for signs of alien activity on Google Earth believes that he had discovered 3 new shipwrecks. Scott C. Waring posted his discovery on the website UFOsightingsdaily.com, which usually features details of alleged UFO or alien sightings. A website that I didn't know existed until now, but I'm definitely gonna have to look it up later. The alien hunter highlighted 3 dark boat-shaped objects in the shallow area off the coast of Costa Verde, which is a really weird thing to say, but in Mexico. He posted on May 4th, 2017, quote, "You know me, always searching for the hidden mysteries of life. Well, today I stumbled upon something that's not a UFO, but is still absolutely amazing due to its size. One wreck, the first on his list, was 138 meters long, which is more than half the length of the Titanic, which you are also able to find on Google Earth, but you have to type in the coordinates to where it's sunk. You can't actually see the wreck. Here's the coordinates if you want to look it up for yourself. It should be here somewhere. He also found a 61 meter long ship and a 12 meter long fishing boat in the same area, which makes me think maybe he did find evidence of aliens. Oh.